Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for allowing me to address one of the issues.
I need your name and address, sir.
Yes. My name is Dr. Mahmood Alam. I'm a cardiologist in Edison, affiliated with GFK Medical Center. My home address is 5 East Drive, Edison, New Jersey. Besides very busy practice, taking care of my patients, a little time I get involved with my congregation that is called Masjid Al-Wali, which is at 10 Olson Avenue, New Jersey. Please accept heartfelt thanks of the Masjid Al-Wali congregation and the entire Edison Muslim community for your continued support for our mosque and community center. Your commitment to diversity and to our right to freedom of religion and freedom of assembly ensures that Edison Township embraces its very best qualities. Your dedication to working with us helps us better serve hundreds of Edison residents who benefit from our congregation's presence in the township. The congregation provides a lot more than just a place of worship. It includes, but not limited to, free health clinics to serve the uninsured, regardless of ethnicity, religion, and color of their skin. We also take pride in providing counseling services to families in distress, mostly battered women and widows in particular. Financial aid to the deserving low-income jobless is one of our work. We engage youth to make them better citizens, to keep them away from gangs and drugs by offering children's karate classes, half-day Sunday school, and youth counseling. We collaborate with various charities to assist them in their Feed the Hungry programs. Our center has been approved as a disaster relief shelter in the area to assist in any natural calamity, God forbid if it happens. This masjid has a lot more to offer both to the local Muslim community as well as the township as a whole. Mr. Chair and respected councilmen, we are committed to working with the township leadership to address any concerns residents may have. We take our responsibility of being a good neighbor and good citizen very seriously and would like to engage each of you as well as the residents who expressed their concerns at last month's council meeting. We hire police officers and security to address the traffic issues on every Friday and at other occasions. We would like to invite the council and all our neighbors to join us at the mosque to discuss concerns and come up with proposed solutions that work to promote serenity in the neighborhood. We will wait to hear from you on this initiative. Lastly, I would also like to thank our elected officials for standing for our community, building roads, and making the high standards of our public school where my children go. It is an unfortunate reality in these times that while some of our neighbors may have legitimate concerns about problems like traffic, there are others whose clear opposition to the mosque on ethnic or religious grounds is simply un-American and undemocratic. As peaceful and law-abiding tax-paying citizens, we deserve respect and inclusiveness that is fundamental to our coexistence as a diverse nation of immigrants. Thank you again for your strong leadership for all our township residents. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other first-time speakers? Sir.
Hello, good evening, everybody. My name is Rashid Khan. I'm a resident of 20 Rolling Brook Drive, Edison. I've been a resident for the last 18 years of Edison. I moved around, switched homes. Thank you. But I love this township. I love the school systems here. All my 3 kids, they grew up here. I've been paying taxes all along, so everything is current. And the township officials have been very good as far as the township, conduct is concerned. The way the security is addressed, if there is an issue, the officials, take it up very quickly and all. So everything so far so good, But something disturbing happened last week, and I was not here in the last council meeting, but I saw the video online, and there were some people who had some objections and they had concerns, and if they have concerns, of course, this is the right platform to come and raise the concerns. But it was something more than that, which was perhaps kind of disturbing. So I would like to, address those things and perhaps try to address those concerns that people raised. One, I think they talked about, as people were talking about, they were saying this mosque, which is built there, I'm part of the congregation. So they said, this mosque is built around here, and they do not pay any taxes when we are the tax-paying people here. Well, if you're talking about amenities, if you're talking about schools, you're talking about churches and all, that's the way the setup is. But the people who come there, they pay their taxes. Do they not have the right to go to their religious centers, which may be non-tax paying, but all the people who are coming in there, they are the taxpayers, and they have a right to go get those amenities. The second thing they were talking about, because of that, there is a lot of traffic coming in here, which is kind of makes sense on the face of it. Yes, but I live in off Inman Avenue. When I come on Grove, there are many schools in there. If I go in the morning or in the afternoon on certain hours, there is a lot of traffic, and I get slowed down. What do? Do I come to the township and say, hey, move the school to 200 miles from here because, I'm being slowed down? But this is not the way the amenities work. We need amenities within the community. We have churches, we have synagogue in Metachin. When I go on Grove Street, if there is some session going on, there are people walking to the synagogue, and people have to give the right to let them walk on the street, pass them, give them the right of way, show respect. That's the way the communities work. But saying that, okay, because of that there is a lot of traffic, then perhaps, the mosque should not be there at all. I think this is not the way the communities are built. Communities need amenities. We cannot move our schools, churches, and hospitals and all 200 miles, and we want to live in a jungle. No, that's not the way it works. The other thing they talked about that, people are walking on the street, I do not feel safe. I think there is something wrong there. You should not feel safe if there is some issue there. Since when has it become unlawful for people to walk on the street? I do not understand. There are kids who are going from the school to home. They walk to the home if they are within a certain radius. Does that mean that there is a problem? I have a church right next to my street. On Sundays, there is a lot of traffic. They park on my street also. I've never come here to complain about that. We want to live in harmony and peace. Let it be. That's the way the communities are built. You live in peace and harmony. The other thing which I find very funny and sad also, that I understand, just to clarify, sorry, one more thing, I'm not part of the administration of the mosque, so I'm not representing the mosque. I'm here as an individual, as a taxpayer. The other thing they mentioned was that the mosque has applied for additional parking because there is car issue and parking issue, right? So I thought if they are identifying certain parking for the mosque to alleviate this problem, they should be supporting that. No, they are opposing that. This is kind of oxymoron that, okay, there is a parking issue, but we don't want more parking there. How do you resolve this issue then? So I personally think very strongly that if the mosque has applied for additional parking within the legal framework, it should be allowed because it is only going to address their problem, the community's problem. And that's the way I think we need to, and if they still have certain concerns, by all means, I think the suggestion is great that maybe, we can come together, sit together and try to address those things. And many of those things, can be addressed in a peaceful way. It's a very serene community, and that's the way it should be. But I feel that there are certain people, maybe they have some hidden agenda. They're trying to divide the community. And perhaps we need to, as the township members and the civil people here, we need to identify those people and isolate them. We cannot let this rift come in. We cannot let anybody divide our wonderful community that is here. I've lived here for 18 years. I want to live here for longer. And with the cooperation of everybody, the communities, the township, and inshallah, we will try to address those issues. But let's not divide the community. Let's come to solution. Let's come to agreements. Let's come to, let's face the issues together. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Chair, for letting me address all members that are present as well, and my fellow Americans here. My name is Imtiaz Siamwala. I reside at 8505 Hannah Road in Edison, and I'm a part of the congregation of Masjid Al-Wali that is located on 10 Olson Avenue in Edison. I'm not an activist, I'm not a political person, and I don't like controversy. I'm a person of compassion. I care passionately about equal rights, about obeying my Constitution, and enjoy my constitutional rights and my freedom. The freedom that is available to you and I as a result of the sacrifices my nephew makes as a member of active military service who's serving in Korea as we speak today. The council meeting of September 13th raised some concerns about Masjid Al-Wali's existence in its current location. From the entire discussion, 2 items hold merit. Everything else from the offset looks like it is encompassed with a certain element of bias. One of the items is the traffic situation, and the other is the noise level. Let me assure you, we at Masjid Al-Wali, the administration, the congregation, we speak about this often, and we share the concerns. But let us be honest here. Are those concerns to the extent that are being conveyed in the meeting? I don't think so. Our religion requires us to pray 5 times a day, and the mosque has 5 services. But our largest service, which is at night, is hardly 40, 50, 60 people, depending on the day that we're talking about. The other requirement by religion for us is when the prayer service is being performed, actually, we have to remain silent while the person who's leading the prayer is reciting the verses of the scripture. So if we are required by religion to be quiet, it's a religious law that we need to be quiet. I don't understand where the noise level is coming from. Now, I will accept we have certain services which are larger than our regular daily service. The service on Friday is a large service, and then we have a month where we have extra traffic. So I can empathize with our neighbors who are feeling inconvenient at times, and we want to work with them, like my fellow congregant, Brother Rashid, very eloquently presented. And I'm echoing most of what he said anyways. So is there anything that we can't work if we work together? Definitely yes, but doesn't call for measures which were portrayed on the meeting on the 13th. I thought those were unwarranted, unnecessary, and it is basically involved with an element of bias. One of the gentlemen in the meeting, he seemed to be concerned about his kids, and he said he doesn't know who comes in and goes out from the mosque. So let me tell you, our congregation consists of doctors from Pakistan, pharmacists from India, attorneys from Bangladesh, IT professionals from Africa, an Egyptian auto body worker, a taxi driver who drives about 8 to 10 hours worth of driving per day, an Afghan elderly gentleman who sells ice cream in an ice cream truck. There are individuals who work in the restaurant and retail industry in very, very difficult conditions. We all know what conditions they go through. And these people are coming, end of their work day, after they have made their livelihood, to pray. This is all their mission is. Their mission is not to come and cause inconvenience to our neighbors. This is not what they plan when they leave the home to come to the mosque. So yes, there is some inconvenience, and like my brother said, let's break bread together. Let's sit down, let's talk about this. This is not an issue which needs to be politicized. The current environment that we are in today, we are all getting involved in this unnecessarily. This is the fabric of what we made of, right? We are all from different races, different cultures, different immigration background, but we are all human beings. Let's treat each other with respect. When people were here that week, I saw there was some kind of animosity. I saw like a venomous tone coming out from some of these people. And all I'm saying is, if you're God-fearing people like we are, come sit with us, break bread with us, and let's sort out our differences like good neighbors. And to conclude, I ask you, are the sacrifices of my nephew and my family to uphold your freedom and my freedom in vain? Thank you.
Council President, with your permission, I'm willing to go there with one of my council colleagues. I understand your concerns, and assalamu alaikum. We've been to your location several times, and I understand. I've heard the concerns from the residents. I don't think it's anything we can't come together with a few of the residents and a few people from the mosque and just sit down and talk this out. The tone you may have gotten could just be confused with just the tone of someone parking in front of your house, and it's just disappointment with a parking issue, which can be corrected from some of the complaints I've heard. So if, with the permission of the council president, I'm willing to join one of my colleagues. We'll set a date for next week, come down and sit down. You don't have to serve me food, but I'll just take bread, okay? And if you have fresh coffee, it'd be great. But I agree with you, and we welcome, what's going on here, and I'm quite certain, so do your residents. It's just a parking situation and a timing of when holidays happen. But your day-to-day operations, I'm sure, could be corrected, and we'll sit down, and I'll wait for our council president to address me with that. Thank you.
Council President, I'd like to thank the gentleman and everyone that came here this evening to discuss this issue. I mean, we're all Americans, right? We're here in this country. We all love America. We could sit down like civil human beings, like the doctor wrote in his letter, discuss our problems, work them out for the betterment of everybody, so we can have a good solution. The neighbors can be happy, and I concur with Councilman Coyle that this is something that we could probably work out. Let's find out what our differences are. Let's talk about them, and let's come up with some solutions for these problems. There's no need to have animosity with stuff like this. Edison is a great town. We're proud that we are a multicultural town and that we accept everyone. Remember, when you come to America, we're all Americans. So we're proud of you for being here tonight and speaking what you have to say. And this is good. We can solve this in a rational way. Sit down, talk, break bread, and iron out our differences. Thank you.
Any other